Hello, and welcome to an episode of Todd Talk. Wait a minute! Wait a minute! This is episode 100! What? What? Yes, it is my 100th episode. I thank you all for being a part of this experience with me. I don't know why you watch me. Maybe it's because of my hair. Maybe it's because of my Death Battle gear, or maybe you just like hearing me talk. I know I do. But seriously, thank you for making this, very fun for me, very successful for me. I have somehow gotten 200 subscribers now. I have gotten, thousands upon thousands of views over the course of these 100 episodes. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I hope that, through the next 100 episodes of both Todd Talk and Death Battle, we can have a lot of fun. So, that being said, we have a very interesting death battle today to talk about the upcoming matchup between Master Roshi from Dragon Ball versus Master Jiraiya. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. From Naruto. Now, ironically, very ironically, Naruto and Dragon Ball have not gone up against each other. Dragon Ball's had numerous matchups having gone against Naruto. Only, don't tell me. Gara. There we go. Gara versus and Gara went off against Toph from of course Avatar, and then Naruto versus Ishigo from Bleach. So this is actually the first time these two franchises are meeting. It's very, very interesting, especially since this is supposedly one of the most highly requested matchups in all of Death Battle. Think about that, because these is the battle of the perverts. Oh, I'm sorry, the perverted masters. So yeah, well, shall we get started? Let's start with Master Roshi. Master Roshi, as a young man, trained to be one of the greatest martial artists in the world. He trained under numerous masters, many of which I can't actually say, but he trained under Kirin. He trained under what was his name, Mutanen or something like that. He trained for a very long time, and he eventually became largely known as the greatest martial artist in the world. During that time, he helped fight King Piccolo with his master and his friend Shen, who later became his rival. And later on, after things had kind of didn't go the way, he lost his master, and he decided to become a hermit. And thus, he created his own style, turtle style. Sorry, I have something in the throat. Turtle style, and would train those that he deemed worthy. Now, this is where it gets really, really funny, because then Goku shows up, but not to train with him. He didn't have that at the time. Instead, he worked with Bulma to try and get all the Dragon Balls, and that led him to Master Roshi because Chi-Chi's father, the Ox King, had one of the Dragon Balls. And to get the Dragon Ball for him, they needed a fan, which Roshi had, but then he threw away. So he decided to help them, used a Kamehameha wave, which I'll get to in a second, and did the job, but did it too well. But in the process, Goku used the Kamehameha wave in one shot, and so Roshi decided to train him. And this is where we actually get to see Roshi at his best and at his worst, because he was the true master of Goku. Yes, he trained under Kirin and Kami and oh no, I just lost his name. Um, King Kai. There we go, King Kai. Uh, during the Saiyan saga, but Roshi was his first true trainer. I mean, even more than his father, Gohan, because Roshi was the one who taught him to, quote unquote, break the wall of humanity. And it was here that Goku really started to get a sense for just how good and strong he was. It was under Roshi's leadership and training that he was able to, expound his skills. So without Roshi, Goku likely wouldn't be the Goku we know now, and the world would have been screwed. So, thanks, Roshi. Now, Roshi gets a rap for being a pervert for very good reasons, because he's a pervert. But I mean, he has countless times tried to proposition and trick Bulma, and was her not Pan, that was Goku's Gohan's wife. The blonde turned blue-haired girl, the one who sneezes. I can't remember her name. I never really liked her character, to be honest with you. I thought that was a little weird, but still. Still. he's earned his reputation. But the problem is that actually hides the fact that he is an incredibly gifted martial artist. Again, he was labeled the greatest martial artist in the world, and he won, I believe, it was the 21st or the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament, including beating Goku, Kid Goku, at the time to do so. So he clearly has skills, and he's used those skills for a variety of great techniques. Obviously, his best one, his most famous one, is the Turtle Destruction Wave or the Kamehameha. And he's also got the 50,000 volt Gig Attack Surprise. It's got a longer Japanese name, but I'm not saying that. He's used After Image. He's got a drunken fighting style, which he uses to trick people. He knows pressure point combat, which he's used multiple times. He actually has the ability to hypnotize people and communicate telepathically with people, though this is a little up for debate. It's kind of it's one of those weird things, right? They show it in the manga, but it's not explicitly stated what he does, but it's kind of inferred that he can. So he can read minds. He can read minds. So yeah, and not to mention, again, he is a great martial artist. He has defeated countless Z fighters, including Krillin, Yamcha, not a word. He beat Tien. Technically, he beat him in one sense, but then he willingly left in another tournament, the tournament after he won, so the 23rd, I suppose, and he willingly let Tien beat him because he knew he probably could, and he'd rather have Goku beat him for various reasons. He defeated his rival Shen, who is the master of the Korean school, in many ways. He's defeated, here's one of my personal favorites, he's defeated 170 Frieza soldiers. Like, Frieza. Yeah, that Frieza. So in Resurrection F, Frieza brought his whole army to Earth to try and, get revenge on Goku and family. And so the Z Fighters, which at the time were, let me count this, so Goku, Vegeta, Tien, Master Roshi, Krillin, and Piccolo, and Gohan, they all took a section of the army, which more or less left them with 170 people to fight. And Roshi beat his entire section. Now, these are not low-key warriors. Haha, low-key. These are, trained soldiers of Frieza who have helped dominate and enslave worlds. And yet Roshi buffed up and beat him. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention that? Yeah, Roshi's mastery of ki is so good that he can take his rather frail old man body and buff himself up to insane levels. Like, he looks like a freaking bodybuilder. And with his cane, his Kamehameha, and various other attacks, he defeated 170 Frieza soldiers. So yeah, he's pretty strong. And then in some of his more insane feats, in the Dragon Ball series, he had faced Goku in the finals of the World Martial Arts Tournament. Goku turned Great Ape, which Roshi didn't know he could do, and he said, I could kill him, but I don't want to do that. So he did the next best thing, and he blew up the moon. The moon. The one in the sky. And remember, this is confirmed to be Earth. So this is the Earth's moon. And Roshi killed him. Roshi killed it. Blew it up. One shot. In fact, he did it in such a fantastical way, people didn't notice the moon was gone. Think about that. No, seriously, think about that. All right? And here's the other thing you need to think about. That technically wasn't his strongest attack. That was just a base attack. It's stated that he did not use his full power to destroy the moon. Now, in contrast, he actually used his max Kamehameha wave to destroy the Ox King's castle and mountain because it was on fire. And so he needed to put it out. And he put it out. He just went a little overboard. And technically, that still wasn't the max power of the Kamehameha wave, because Yoshi said he put a little too much power into it. So that technically meant he probably could put a little more in there. And then fast forward to the Tournament of Power, saga, he not only took out some of the strongest combatants of alternate universes in the arc just before it, he actually got mind controlled, and it was revealed that he had been training to be stronger than he was beforehand. And so he actually was able to go toe to toe with base form Goku. Very important to say here, base form Goku, who was even surprised that Roshi had been holding back. Roshi had been holding back this whole time. So Roshi's really cool. I mean, yes, he's the turtle pervert, but oh gosh, that sounded wrong. Ugh, turtle hermit pervert. There we go. Let's call it that. Roshi pervert. No, but no, Roshi's good. Roshi's strong. He's wise. He's incredibly battle intelligent. He's fought a lot, and he's seen a lot. I mean, even when he wasn't being used in the Dragon Ball series, he knew what was going on with Goku, with Krillin, all of them, with Frieza, with Cell. He helped in Dragon Ball Super. He helped with a Fuzamatsu arc by using his demon capture wave, or yeah, demon capture or something like that. You know what I'm talking about. But there's so many names to remember. But he's done a lot, and he's really really good. Now, if he does have a weakness, it's this: he can get cocky. He knows he's good. He knows he's really good. And at times he's amazed at how good he is. And he'll think that he has gotten a person down, and he doesn't. And so he's like, crap. Like what happened with Goku. Like he thought he had him beat with his 50,000 volt attack. Again, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. But then he turned Great Ape, and he's like, oh crap, what am I supposed to do now? So yeah, he's got that down. But then there's like the whole perverted part, but we'll get to that later. So still, and then his ki has a limit. Like everyone in Dragon Ball universe, his ki has a limit, and he died in the Tournament of Power because he used too much of his ki. Now, granted, he willingly made that choice, and he actually put his life force into it so that he used his max Kamehameha wave, which drained just about all of his energy. That Goku had to bring him back with his own life force, and then he almost used all of his ki again, trying to beat Frost. And long story, but he willingly almost got himself killed. So do know that, okay? So Master Jiraiya. He was a graduate of the ninja school in Konoha. He's widely considered one of the greatest ninjas to ever come out of Konoha, which is interesting considering the nice legacy that the Hidden Leaf Village has of producing great ninjas. Um, from an early age, Jiraiya knew he was going to be something interesting, and he actually would take the failures in his life and transform them into ways to get around the rules. For example, he was told to be more focused like one of his fellow graduates, and so he goes, no, and actually creates a stealth technique where he can go freaking invisible and be able to, get around. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but he was. It's almost Naruto lore. It's honestly hard to talk about it all because I'm trying not to make this video 30 minutes, but I'm already on 13 right now, so sorry. Um, Eventually, he was part of the second Great Shinobi War, where he was, let's call it, this was his true unveiling. His skills and powers were on display for the entire Shinobi world to see, and even his fellow graduates, the few that survived the war, were amazed by how strong Jiraiya was. I mean, some of his friends, the ones who knew him the best, were like, "You probably can't beat Jiraiya one-on-one without trickery." And so, to this end, he trained even more to become even stronger and more perverted, but that's another story. And to that end, he became a toad master, if you will. He learned these techniques from toads, sentient toads, and during this point, he was told that he would actually train a shinobi that would either save the world or destroy the world. Now, he wasn't told who, but he knew that this was a real prophecy, and it came from a trusted source. Let's put it that way. If it was came from a trusted source. So he had to figure out who he was supposed to train. And he trained three people. He personally trained three people in his lifetime, one of which was Naruto Uzumaki, who he openly said, sorry, that he was his greatest student. He loved the time he spent with him. And Naruto was actually his godson. So that says a lot. Um, as a shinobi and a ninja in this time of this anime, he has chakra. Chakra is a spiritual energy which they shinobi use to use various attacks. And because of his own training, both in ninja school with the toads and his own life experiences, he's got a wide variety of attacks. For example, as I mentioned, he can turn invisible. He has the shadow clones technique. He has the ability to summon frogs, transform people into frogs, increase his own abilities. He can channel the natural energy of the world to enhance his own attacks. It's specifically stated that he can control fire, wind, and Rasengan. I think I said water, earth, and certain other elements. He can control them to a certain extent. Um, and again, he's able to actually harness the energy of the world to enhance his own attacks, so thus increasing his strength, his speed, and more. Um, he's got a lot of techniques, but he can spew uh, oil like a toad, which I don't know why that's like a toad, but that's what the manga said. He can transform himself into a sage, which is a stronger version of a shinobi, and thus become more toad-like and have better power, better agility, yada yada. He doesn't like it though because he thinks the women don't like the toad look, I guess. But no, he is incredibly powerful. He is incredibly smart. This is something that again gets lost, much like Roshi, because of his perverted nature. People think that Jiraiya sometimes isn't that smart. He's actually really smart. He is incredibly intelligent in battle. He is calculating. He is able to discern things in battle and thus capitalize on them. He has techniques that can actually help him anticipate movement. You know, he was fighting Naruto once, and he saw Naruto use a seal, and he realized that there was something wrong with the seal, and so he used his own technique to actually correct the seal and thus unlock Naruto's true power. And then another time, he was facing a foe who used a special kind of seal technique. He actually was able to, in seconds, determine the exact um, techniques that he was about to use, the powers that they were going to unleash, and how to counter them in seconds. All right, like after one use, he saw them. It's like, oh, that's what they do. Okay, I can work around this. So he is very calm in battle, and he's not afraid to be shrewd and use trickery to, you know, do what needs to be done. Let's just put it that way. And yes, Jiraiya is a freaking pervert. He would use his invisibility technique to spy on women in their bathing houses, including his friend, uh, was it Sundari, Sundara, something like that. And yeah, he once got caught, and she promptly broke both of his arms, six of his ribs, and basically exploded most of his organs. But he lived. He lived. He's also a writer of adult novels, if you know what I'm saying. And he's apparently very rich because of this, which actually is a very interesting part of his personality. That he writes, not that part, but he actually understands that his perversion is a weakness. And because of that, though he was a jonin, which is a high-ranking military captain and obviously a teacher to shinobi, he never became Hokage. He was asked three times to become Hokage, which is basically ninja governor of, in this case, the Hidden Leaf Village in Konoha. Um, which eventually Naruto would become. He would become the fifth Hokage, but Jiraiya was asked to be the fifth Hokage three times, but he personally refused because he didn't feel that his quirks were appropriate for a ninja governor. I find that very nice. I find that very nice. Now, in outside of his shinobi techniques, he is incredibly strong. He has kicked massive creatures across long distances. He has thrown people across great distances. He was able to move so fast that folk couldn't see him striking. His durability, he was able to, I gotta say this right. He was about to die. He got his heart to start beating again just so he could write out a message. And even the guy who killed him, Nagato, said that if he had known this one technique about what he was using, the Nagato was using, he probably wouldn't have won. So it really was just a lack of intelligence in this really rare case that led to him not winning. So he's endured a lot, and then he's taken other attacks and didn't even phase him. So there you go. But he did die, so he's not infallible, and his exuberant nature could sometimes backfire at him in big ways, like I noted with Zendara, where she broke him. I broke Jiraiya. All right, so 20 minutes. Let's try and get this under 25. So who's gonna win? Now, up to my research, I was told that Roshi owns. And yet, when I was looking at Jiraiya, I saw techniques that made me question whether that's actually true. And here's why. There's no doubt that they're strong. I would actually put their strength kind of even, except for a few cases, which I'll get to in a second. Their speed, I actually put pretty close. Roshi has had a machine gun fired at him. Here we go. Machine gun fired at him at close range. He caught all the bullets and then knocked the guy out. So he has incredibly fast reaction speed. But as I noted, Jiraiya has that too. Endurance, they can take a lot. Okay, Roshi has actually been shot by a machine gun. Didn't feel a thing. He, during his fight with Tien in the Tournament of Power, the World of Martial Arts tournament, he took a double knee to the back of the neck. Now, according to Tien, he was supposed to go comatose. All right, like this technique was built to be comatose inducing. He got right back up. Yeah. So he's got that endurance, but and then as I know, Jiraiya has taken hits and like not been phased. So I would say their durability is pretty good. And both times when they died, they had enough willpower to do certain things, like give last messages to their students and all that. Here's the problem. While I like the whole Jiraiya can turn people into a toad technique, I don't know enough about it. Okay, so for all I know, it could be a feint. And then in contrast, Roshi blew up the moon. Our moon, Earth's moon. You see the size of it in the shot, in the anime, and in the manga of how big it is. It is Earth's moon, and Roshi blew it up so completely that it didn't like hurt the Earth or anything. I don't think Jiraiya has anything that could take that, or anything to counter that. And while you might say, well, but what about the shadow clones technique? Well, Roshi has afterimage. And yes, well, that's different techniques. It's still the same kind of cloning thing. It's just you don't know which Roshi is real. Roshi will find out which Jiraiya is real, and then even if he realizes, oh, all these clones are real things, he's fought 170 Frieza soldiers at once. And these are guys with different personalities, different techniques, different strength sets, different speeds. He beat them all. All right? He's gone toe-to-toe with base form Goku. And he's won. Or, sorry, he technically lost, but he tied him in many aspects. All right? So, I just don't, as much as I like I think Jiraiya will give him a good fight, and there are techniques that will put him into a bind, but can he kill Roshi? I don't think he can. Or could he withstand Roshi's greatest attack, the Max Kamehameha wave? I don't think he can. So I am picking Master Roshi as my winner. So with that, I am ending this 100th episode of Todd Talk. Again, thank you for joining me for these 100 episodes. Let me know what you think about Master Roshi versus Jiraiya. I am told that this fight is going to be about 4 minutes long, so it's going to be one of the longer 2D death battles, so I'm looking forward to that. And of course, who do you think is going to be episode 103, which is the season finale of Death Battle? So be prepared for that. Be prepared. So So, I thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I know you were listening, and I'll see you around.